Okay. All right, ladies. I think it is now working.
Fun time.
Appears to be. Let me double check. I don't have to edit all this out. Are we good? Yeah, I think so. Okay. Let me grab my chart because we still have a few individuals. I might try and walk around and let you know if you haven't.
I'm gonna call on Cheyenne. I'm gonna call on Cheyenne because she hasn't gone.
Renewing the great debate. Cheyenne, take it away.
Cheyenne.
It's your turn.
Okay, so I don't know where we left off last time, but we don't know half the animals that are in the ocean, and technically we really don't know if they're going extinct. Like, they could be fossils from different animals that we already have that we're finding, and so yeah.
Movie.
Well, we wouldn't know if it's animals that we already have because we've seen them, but if we haven't seen them and they're new, so it's not the animals that we already have. Alex.
Okay, so going off of what Cheyenne said, so I found out that 23% of the fish in the ocean are endangered, but that's only of the known species of fish we have, and they're since we've only discovered a small percentage of the Earth's oceans, then there could be many more species that we don't know of yet. Val.
One good reason that I think we are not in a mass extinction is that this was a statement made by Elio Lugo, and he said rates of the species extinction are overestimated because natural resilience, which is recovering from injuries, is underestimated, which I feel like is a good point of why we're not in a mass extinction.
Peyton.
A while ago before lunch, I'm going off of what Quentin said. Tundi and Daniel might think that deforestation is part of the problem. The truth is that is a problem nowadays with deforestation. However, deforestation is only ruining animals' homes. That doesn't mean that the animals aren't adapting or maybe even moving. There are some that are still alive in the forests. Grace Salmon.
All those ladies have their hands up, so let's whoever passes through first, I want to talk with the first person. So, Olivia, wasn't your hand up, and Brianna and Kayla, let's scroll all the way down the line.
I think that since going from what Peyton said, yeah, deforestation is a problem, and some animals might move or adapt, but I remember learning in elementary school most of them, they don't, because adaptation takes quite a while. So they might be able to do that because they won't be able to do that overnight. So unless they move and can adapt there after a while, they probably will die off and go extinct.
Okay, so about what gosh, I just forgot what I said. Okay, so how the deforestation thing, why don't we focus on the good things humans do for the environment? According to Ariel, I remember this, that he said that we do more things to help the forest rather than deforestation, we protect their habitats.
I would have to disagree with that. We do some good things for the environment, but the bad outweighs the good in this scenario. Because when we take away forests to build new homes, we take away the animals' homes. Land can only support so many creatures before it can't support anything at all. And there's really only three options. move, adapt, or die. So, and yeah, what Olivia said is adapt don't happen overnight. Maggie? Or Jack? Or whoever. Whoever hasn't gone yet.
You guys haven't spoken? Ask the question or responding to that?
S goes down.
In my opinion, I think it's too early to determine if we're in a mass extinction. We have been going with Kaylin, what Kaylin says, we have been doing a lot of positive things too. And we're paying more attention to deforestation rather than fixing the forest. Matt.
On what you said, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Come back here. Think about it for a second.
Okay, so I want to go back to what Chance said about the oil tankers and how the barrels just go around and spill everywhere. So oil tanks don't really have barrels. I even got a diagram to show. They have big holes in the bottom of them. That's where all the oil goes. They're not just on free barrels that roll around everywhere. Not according to this diagram and every other diagram I looked at. They are in big and and also this isn't the only way that animals in the water could die. Many factories, they dump their waste into rivers and oceans in order to get rid of it. So that's another way that could happen. And then back to what Quentin said. So Quentin said that the animals could just like have resilience and come back. Well, extinct animals don't have resilience, and animals that are almost extinct have little to none because it's hard for them to come back from the blows that they've already taken. So.
We've got about maybe 5 minutes. You all have done a great job. I really like letting you all lead the conversation and see where we go. But with about 5 minutes left, I think I'm going to start throwing out some questions for you all. If you all can just elicit some thoughts and responses. So one of the things I want to address what David just said. Earlier, when Chance was talking about the oil barrels, what was the point there? What was the main idea he was trying to get across? Was it really about the oil barrels specifically? That was his example. What was the bigger idea he was saying there? What do you think? Pass it.
Can I speak? It's more like the habitat destruction that is caused by the oil spills, and habitat destruction is actually the leading cause. So as long as we're talking about like the oil and the deforestation and all that.
That's true. I happen to experience an oil spill and see the massive habitat destruction that can cause. When I lived in New Orleans, I don't know if you all are aware. I think we read once before about the Deep Horizon oil tanker that destroyed. That wasn't the first one. But when Chance was talking about securing the barrels, I mean, what was that point there? Just that what responsibility do human beings have? You know, pass it over.
Can I speak?
Sure.
One of the responsibilities us as humans has is we can't be wasteful and uncaring about the environment. As I forgot who said it earlier, but about the poll about who cares about the environment, and Andrew, like Andrew said, and how it was going down about the people that really cared about the environment. And if we just try to be more responsible with our stuff, Like you wouldn't leave your own property out for it to get damaged. So the environment, we have to take care of it. We can't just be careless and let a bunch of oil drums spill all over the side of the ship and kill thousands of fish. Julian? Oh, Quentin.
I want to go off of what Brandon said. Because oil spills kind of like come straight back to us. Because some people eat fish, right? And if all the fish die, then some people may not get their favorite food.
I want to go back to what Brandon said because the other day I was at my grandparents' creek and I found a bunch of like trash in there and like tires and stuff. And they told me that everything that like if we leave something on the beach, it could get washed out into the ocean. And this could hurt the fish, just like pollution. Like, it's not like directly dropping something off the boat, but if we just like leave something on the beach, like a little thing of trash or something, it could harm any of the marine life in the ocean. So we need to be more careful, like what Brandon said. Abigail?
See, it's the thing though. Maybe just leaving a little bit of pile of trash on the beach, but most people don't really care anymore. That's the thing. Like Andrew said, nobody cares. Oh, they're just like, oh, it's a little piece of trash, no harm. But it can be a big harm because it could all get clumped together and become bigger, and it could all just get into the ocean, and that's horrible. So we really need to change people's opinions about just leaving little small pieces of trash on the beach. Clean it all up. That's your mess and it's your responsibility. Kelsey.
Okay, so, like, you know like, if you get, like, a 6-pack of Pepsi, the little plastic part with the things, well, my parents, they, like, cut it up so, like, whenever they throw it away, if it, like, gets in the ocean or whatever, like, it can, like, kill an animal or something if it gets, like, wrapped around it or whatever. So, yeah.
I think the main chances point to the oil barrels, just that there are some environmental questions that are tough. There are no easy answers. Like, for instance, we live here in the state of Kentucky, which, like some other states in our region, are heavily dependent on coal. And coal obviously has some really damaging environmental effects. And that's tough to deal with. I mean, do we get rid of coal? That seems to be the trend right now. That might cost people jobs. But then again, there are lots of other things that we can do, whether it be from dropping down oil barrels or just making sure that safety precautions are being followed properly. Picking up trash after yourself, like Abigail says, or taking care of the plastic that comes with our packaging. Little small things that each of us could do that wouldn't take much effort at all, that collectively would make a big difference. Let's have some closing thoughts, because we need to move on to education.
There's all this talk about how we're focusing on the negative impacts of humans on society and animal life. But if we don't focus on the negative, we don't know what to fix. So I think that it's actually positive to look at the negative, if that makes sense. And it can actually help us.
Going off of what Julian said, that whenever we always focus on the negatives, but if we always focus on positives, we'll just be like, oh, we're super good, we're good with that. But if we focus on positives, whenever with all this stuff going on, eventually it'll be worse than the dinosaurs. So we have to focus on the negatives so we can fix them and be.
Brian Probus to the office, please. You're being signed out. Brian Probus.
And so that we can fix this mass extinction that we are currently in.
I think that might be a good place to call for today. We can pick up. We'll pick up again some other time, I promise, because I know we got so many great contributions. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera off, and while I'm doing that, you can give us your last, and then Andrew can give us his too.